Hey there, and welcome to I Reckon I'll Read It, the podcast where two Okie gals talk books, share recs, and don't hold back on their mighty big opinions. I'm Beccah.
And I'm Summer. We're so glad you're here. Go ahead and grab some sweet tea, get cozy, and get ready for some good old-fashioned book talk.
We've got a whole heap of books to talk about, and we reckon you're going to want to stick around. Pow, pow, pow.
I just had the urge to go pow, 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 pow.
That was my little gun sound, and it was terrible.
It was kind of like a Mickey Mouse gun sound.
Yeah, I prefer that gun over a real one, but I was
Well,
going
sure.
with the
Howdy
reckon.
Western.
And it came out pow, pow, pow. It did kind of sound like a Mickey Mouse.
Have you ever heard that song, which I don't expect you have, where it's like, it's a 22. Pew, pew, pew. No.
I don't think so, Summer.
It's a 45. And then it's a chopper. Boom. It's a chopper.
What is this song?
Not R&B, hip hop song where she's like, pew, pew, pew. It's a 22.
Yeah, I'm too old for that. Sorry.
I think I'm also too old for it. I don't know how I know that, but.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay. That took a weird turn.
Don't know. We went hard on guns right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we are from Oklahoma. But we do have all our teeth. So,
Beccah, hi.
Thanks for saving this. We went real off track. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I reckon I'm okay.
You reckon you're okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted this on our Instagram, back early days of the podcast, but there was this medical doctor that said, we really got to bring back the word reckon.
I'm telling you.
I reckon you got a UTI or something like that.
Listen, I really thought, our podcast would just do that. I thought I'd just start hearing it
We
in
just
the
bring
wild.
it back in the vernacular.
Which, I do sometimes hear it in the
I
wild.
reckon.
But
also maybe geographically where we live.
yeah.
I reckon you're right.
I did ask somebody, asked me one time, my podcast was super country. They were like, do you just read cowboy books? And I was like, well,
I mean,
there's been a few cowboy romances, but no. And they were like, okay, I was just scared for a second. It's I don't know what that means, but.
Our culture is not a costume.
Yeah.
Okay, Beccah, I've got a spur of the moment question for you.
I'm scared. She would not give me any hints.
Nope.
Which I think is rude.
Well, it is kind of the premise of the question. It's spur of the moment.
They don't know.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What is the weirdest or strangest place you've ever read a book?
Oh. Anyone who knows me is going to be anywhere Beccah goes. I think the one that I got the most reaction for reading a book at, I have two.
I think I know the answer.
Do you want to guess?
No.
Okay. The first one was probably our friends all go to the same 4th of July celebration, and I take a book every year. But I remember one year just giving zero cares about that event, and I sat there and read my book the whole time. Never got out of my chair. I was hot, didn't want to move, just read my book. And so many people are like, you brought a book to a fireworks show? And I was like, yeah, because I got to stay for 5 hours before it starts. What else do you want me to do? I don't want to go walk around inflatables. I want to read my book. So that was one. I got so many people who didn't even know me were like, are you reading a book? I don't know why that was so weird for
Heaven
people.
forbid.
Heaven forbid. I also have photo evidence of friends taking pictures of me reading a book during a baseball game that we all went to.
That's the one I knew about.
We all went to a baseball game together, and I didn't care about that baseball game, so I just read my book. I remember that one was Remarkably Bright Creatures. Was what I was reading.
Great book to avoid other things going on.
I was still in the environment.
You were present.
I was present.
In body, but maybe not in spirit.
Yeah, I do that a lot. So many concerts, I'll especially if it's an opening act that I don't care about, I'll just if it's a concert that I'm sitting, like if I'm like on the floor,
You're not
like,
gonna stand in the pit
with my book.
your book.
I don't know. I might. I'm like reading it on my phone in the pit, but you know, like if I'm in the like in seats, I always bring a book, and it is funny because now you have to have like the clear like bags, and so I have to get a book that will fit in my dang bag. And I remember a couple years ago, my husband took me to watch Ed Sheeran, and I was like stuffing this book in this bag, and he was like, "Why are you taking the book?" And I was like, "'Cause what if I don't care about all the opening stuff?" And he was like, "You're taking up all the space in that bag. That's the only bag we have to take in this thing, and you're taking all the space for that book." And
just in case.
And I was like, "Yes." So a lot of places.
Yeah.
I usually have a book with me at all times.
Yeah.
So it's just like why not?
See, my answer is the same. I always have a book with me. I like only purchase purses that will carry a Kindle or a book or
Right.
Obviously, priorities. And so yeah, I always carry books. And I've seen people joke online of like, "Here's the perfect bag if you want to carry a book around all day and never read it." Because, you know, you like take it with you and you maybe don't have opportunity to actually read it. So you just end up carrying it around. But we
also actually read it.
We do. I was like notorious as a child because my dad was a teacher, and so all my summers were spent with him, being dragged from like pawn shop to pawn shop to pawn shop, or like anywhere he wanted to go. I also went. And so obviously I took my books with me, and I would park myself at the pawn shop chair and read my book while he went shopping.
I would too. Yeah.
Sure.
Again.
Which I do think as a child, it's maybe a little bit more socially acceptable to just like ignore everything and sit and read your book. Whereas like as an adult, I struggle with that more.
Which is funny because I'm super social. I'm not antisocial. And I'm being social, being at the event. And I like can read and still like, I remember at the baseball game being like, "Oh yeah, that was a funny story. Oh, did we score? Okay." And then reading.
Back to the book.
Then back to the book. I just remember like friends taking pictures of me and like sending it to people, and then me getting pictures of myself reading a book, being like, "Are you seriously reading a book at a baseball game right now?" Anyway, sorry to go back to that. Yeah, I really just took it back to me.
I mean, that's okay.
Talk about your childhood pawn shop book.
Pawn shops. Pawn shops make think of summertime. No, I took books with me everywhere.
Also, very Oklahoman of you.
Still take books with me everywhere. And I do think I mostly carry it around as an accessory now. I don't have as many opportunities to pull it out. Maybe it's also just a statement of like how busy our lives are, that we don't have as much just like downtime.
But it's there if you
or
do
as
have
much
time.
like time sitting in a waiting room, or you know, I mean, maybe as a mom you might have more time if like your kids are doing things. No,
that's funny. But if they're watching TV,
I would say you also have a little one. So if your older kids are doing something, you're probably.
No. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I was just being funny.
So
okay, I have a question, and this is super unsafe.
Unsafe?
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't say this live on recording. Do you read books at stoplights?
I have done that before.
Yeah, I do that
a
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually do remember one time I was reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which I've told you need to read. And I was like so into it that I had to go cook dinner, but I didn't want to put the book down. So I like read with one hand and cooked with the other hand because I didn't have like the audiobook. Like I was reading a physical book while I was cooking.
Oh, I also have another confession.
Okay.
This was not a bad place, but like not the best place. I remember I had like one chapter left. I should not tell this story. I had one chapter left of a book and I was dying, but church was starting. And so I went into church and I couldn't focus because I had one chapter left, and I said, I have to go to the restroom. And I went to the bathroom and finished my chapter. And I literally was like sitting in the bathroom, like reading the last chapter of my book. And then I was like, okay, now I can go back and be present.
Oh, that's so funny.
I would think about it the whole time. Like it would have been so distracting. Like really, I think I did the right thing.
Like, sure. Yeah.
hiding in the bathroom stall at church reading a book.
That way you could be fully present afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
no, I am notorious. Well, maybe not notorious. In my mind, I am. That I'm like late a lot of places because I can't stop reading a book, or like I'm almost done with a book, so I have to finish it. So then I'm late to where I'm going.
Yeah.
Also, usually when I show up, I'm then crying.
I was going to say, this is when she's been in my driveway for 15 minutes and I'm like, she's reading a book.
And then I come in crying.
Comes in crying. Yeah, you do that more than I do.
Yeah.
I've done that one time to you.
You have.
Yeah, one time.
It was very
I
special.
wasn't crying in the same way you usually come in crying, but I was definitely emotional.
Like that.
She comes in weeping, like crawling through the threshold. Peter. I think the last time you did it was the Hunger Games.
Mockingjay. Yep. Yeah, that one was rough.
That's so funny.
Uh-huh.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I knew about the baseball one, so I had a feeling you'd have a fun story. All right. It is time for one of our favorite parts of the show, our weekly reading roundup.
This is where we each share what we just finished, what we're currently reading, and what's up next on the old TBR.
Okay, Beccah, what have you recently finished?
Okay. Listen, I was talking to you earlier. I have been in a very weird reading
season.
I'm still reading all my normal, like, book. I haven't been reading a lot of fantasy, which is surprising because fantasy is my like jam. Man, I just told everyone how old I was because I said jam. But I'm bringing another nonfiction. Who am I?
What? 2 episodes in a row?
I know. Here's the thing. I was trying to reach that Goodreads, like I wanted each of the little bookmarks, and then I was very underwhelmed that nothing, like even confetti didn't even show up on my page.
Really?
When I reached all 12.
Well, I'm proud of you because I did not achieve it. I was too short.
Don't even worry about it because it wasn't that exciting. I literally was like, I killed myself
to do 12 bookmarks.
Do 12 bookmarks, and you didn't even celebrate me. I expected like a little like confetti and like, congratulations, you achieved this challenge. Nothing.
Wow. What a letdown.
I was like, it was.
Our Amazon overlords.
Yes, I know. That is another conversation. Anyways, so because of that, I wanted to, the last bookmark I needed was like Women's History Month books. And a lot of them were like literary fiction that just are not my thing. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the nonfiction. Let me find one that's interesting. And I was attracted to the cover of this book. Have you seen? Let me show you.
It's beautiful.
Okay. So the book is called With Her Own Hands, Women Weaving Their Stories by Nicole Nehrig? Nehrig? I don't know. Nehrig. So all of you guys out there who can pronounce words. Okay. So I was like, oh, what's this about? Because it has this beautiful, like, I don't really know what it is.
It looks like a scarf.
A scarf? Or maybe it's like a tapestry, but like,
yeah,
it's long.
Spiral.
It's long and it's like spiraled around the cover and it's really beautiful. I don't know why I said it like that, but I felt like it needed to be said like that.
With emphasis.
And so I was like, oh, that's pretty. Let me see what this is about. I'm going to read it to you.
And tell me what's
okay. Oh my goodness. A rich and intimate exploration of how women have used textile work to create meaningful lives, from ancient mythology to our current moment. In this captivating work, psychologist and knitter Nicole Nehrig delves into the myriad ways the art forms such as knitting, sewing, and embroidery were and continue to be liberating for women. Which obviously is interesting because a lot of times we think that has like
a trad
limited
wife.
Women. Yeah. So already I was like, ooh, okay. Spanning continents and centuries, she brings together remarkable stories of women from an 18th century Quaker boarding school that used embroidered samples to teach girls math and geography, to the Quechua weavers working to preserve and revive Incan traditions today, and from the Mao women of southern China who, in their absence of a written language, passed down their histories in elaborate story cloths, to a mid-century British woman's postal art exchange. Throughout history, textiles have been a way for women to explore their intellectual capacities, seek economic independence, create community, process traumas, and convey powerful messages of self-expression and political protest. With Her Own Hands is a celebration of women who have woven their own stories and created objects of beauty and significance to bring them through hardships.
Oh, heck yeah.
Doesn't that sound so good?
Yeah.
Okay. And first of all, I'm not like a big knitter over here, but I do like a little bit of embroidery. So I wasn't like drawn to it because I'm like, oh, I'm such a sewer. I just thought it was such an interesting and unique look at like the female experience, because obviously a lot of times we've seen this type of work being like what limits women as like women's work in the home. And it was really interesting. I expected it to be a lot more about that, which that is in there, but honestly how it got to that point and how like by restricting these community type moments they were pushed more back into the home, which is kind of interesting. But it was super intriguing. It goes through so many different cultures and how they like use this art form and how they create dyes and what that meant, and only certain people and like women were the only ones with access to this type of stuff. So sometimes in those like tribal type communities, it like they were almost like positions of power because it was almost like sacred a little bit. And because women were the only ones with access to it, it kind of gave them like a status. So it was really interesting to see it through like history like that, but then to obviously see it when it shifts more to like European and then just more Western in general, how it became like a place of women being put like in the homes as like women's work and things like that, and how it was used to, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I won't go super crazy on this podcast. It is so good though. Like it is really good. You will love it.
It sounds so up my alley.
It's so up your alley. You will love it. I was telling a friend about it, and they are like, I sent a text to like my best friend and her mom is like an actual like sewer, seamstress. Let me get that out of here. And like does all kinds of stuff. And I sent them a picture. I was like, you guys have got to read this. And her mom was like, oh, I've actually seen it. Like, I'm interested in it. And I was like, I explained it as like, it is so good. It's so interesting about the craft in general, but it is like, this is not a downside to it. This is a strong point to me, but obviously it's going to lean very like feminist heavy, if that makes sense. I will not say that it's done in like a super aggressive way, because I do know some people don't love that type of like, you know, women's issues being whatever.
Like viewpoint.
Yes. Or it comes out more aggressive. To me, I'm kind of like, whatever.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Throw it in my face. But it does come off as like very strong positions of like, this is how it was like used like in patriarchal systems. But it is also so like matter of fact that like, I think it's really accessible.
It's very
to
factual
anybody.
rather than like agenda viewpoint.
Yes. Because I know that like some people are sensitive to those kind of things. So I feel like I need to like preface that a little bit. Like there are going to be some parts that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, is this like a crazy down with men book or whatever? And it's not, but it is also talking about historically how women were
systems of oppression.
Right. And how women were stuck in certain places because it was women's work. But then also it goes into like how some communities like men also did this work, and like what that did for communities that men participated in it. There are so many like facets that are happening in the story that I found really, really interesting, that I didn't think it would go there, and then it would go there. Like in each chapter's kind of broke down about something different. So like the first one is about like textile work and life, and it's like literally like the birth process, but more like life process, not like, oh, they're birthing some things and sewing while they do it. Not like that. I don't think I needed to qualify that statement, but you know,
also the gesture going on at the same time.
I was but like the life and death cycle, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
And that connection to like in a lot of these like ancient type tribes, and I say ancient, but some of them still exist today, but you know what I mean. How that played into it. But then like one chapter would be about like education. It'd be like, this was how they were teaching girls things because they weren't allowed in school. So they were teaching them how to read and do math through these sewing schools and things like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, like that is, look how like brilliant they were being to be able to like teach young girls
with what they had.
Yeah. And so each chapter has like a really interesting lens to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Well,
I need to stop, but I could go on and on.
100% reckon I would read this.
It's really good.
So
I think you should.
I can't wait.
Go ahead and just download it right now.
Okay.
All right. What are you reading? Or what did you just read? Sorry.
I just finished today a book called This Story Might Save Your Life.
Crum. Sorry,
Yes.
her last name's Crum.
By Tiffany Crum.
Sorry.
Harry Potter reference.
All I could see was Crum. That's all I thought. Sorry. Read it one more time.
This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum.
Okay. I apologize
Don't apologize.
for my intrusive thought.
Okay. Listen to this little blurb here.
Can't wait.
Both a riveting mystery and a love story. This Story Might Save Your Life is one of the best thrillers I've read this year, says Amy Tintera, bestselling author of Listen for the Lie, which I loved.
Oh. So, capital M, lowercase r?
I would probably say yes. I don't know that I would go full. I probably would meet the standards of capital R,
Oh, okay.
but I
So
would
maybe a joint.
maybe, but it doesn't. It feels more capital M, lowercase r.
Okay.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you can reference
Our last podcast.
2 podcasts ago when we
Was it
talk
2
about. I
ago?
think so, because we talked about women's history last time,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
where we talk about our genre qualifiers. Okay, this is the actual blurb here. Best friends Benny and Joy like to say they've been saving each other's lives since the moment they met, until the day Joy disappears and Benny is suspected of murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
Benny Abbott and Joy Moore. Wow, I said that right, but it felt wrong in my mouth. I'm going to say that again. Benny Abbott and Joy Moore host one of the most beloved podcasts in the world.
Oh, just like us.
One of the most beloved. Each week, they delight listeners with a different, against all odds, survival story, gleefully finding the weird, life-affirming humor in near-death experiences. Since their first episode on Joy's experience with severe narcolepsy, they've been the best of friends everyone wants to befriend. And thanks to the meticulous management of Joy's husband, Xander, they've built a lucrative empire. The problem is, their next survival story may be their own. When Benny arrives at Joy and Xander's one morning to record, he finds shattered glass in an empty house. The one clue shedding light on the couple's disappearance is the incomplete, previously unseen first draft of Joy's memoir. Benny is desperate to find them, even when the police soon zero in on him as their prime suspect. Millions of devoted listeners think they know the real Benny and Joy, but as the hours tick by, the odds seem increasingly stacked against Joy and Xander being found alive. Not even the most devoted fans could guess the terrible secrets their favorite famous BFFs have hidden from the world and from each other. Okay.
Okay, who is the couple? Who's the romance between?
That I cannot answer.
Well, I think that answered it.
So this one,
Look for me asking those spoiler questions.
this one was interesting in multiple ways.
Okay.
I will say, I knew this was a mystery / thriller, had heard of this book. It only recently released maybe in like February, end of February, beginning of March. Like it's pretty new.
Okay.
And I had heard that the audiobook production of this was just fantastic because it's about podcasters. So it had a lot of like fun audio elements in it. Like you get part of their podcast, you get like the tip line where people are calling in thinking that they've like had sightings of Joy and Xander. And so it's like phone call tip line sound bites that are kind of interesting.
I'm just trying to figure out how this is a romance. That's what I'm stuck on. But I know you can't tell me. It's
I
okay.
did not know that it was a romance when I went into it.
Oh.
And so that kind of took me by surprise with it. So it's told in alternating POVs between Benny and Joy. And it's like Benny. And
Benny and Joy.
I can't believe that has not been in my head this whole time. It's like Benny, day one of the disappearance. And then it goes to Joy's POV, but it's like chapter 1 of her memoir that she wrote and left for Benny to find. And then like day 2 of the disappearance, Benny. Chapter 2 of Joy's memoir. So it like goes back and forth that way, interspersed with like the tip line and little podcast things. So like the construction of it was really cool. And I went in expecting kind of more of like a popcorn thriller mystery. And it is very much a mystery. You're trying to figure out where Joy and Xander are, what happened, what's going on.
And what chapter did they disappear? Like chapter 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the get-go.
Yeah. And there's like all of these things going, like there's much more going on than I expected going into
Well,
it.
I have some theories on what's happened, but I'm not going to say them because if I'm right, you won't be able to hide it on your face, and then we'll spoil it for everybody.
Well, we can have our own little chit chat where we spoil things.
We will.
But like, there's all of these suspicious people. Like they're in LA, and like one of their neighbors is like a paparazzi person who like has he been taking pictures of them? Joy has a stalker that has been like leaving messages on their podcast website and all this stuff.
Oh, same. Just kidding. We don't even have a website. I was just trying to connect on the podcast level, you know?
Oh, okay. I see. So like there's a lot of stuff going on. And then like there are reasons that the police then believe Benny is involved in their disappearance. And then it like takes a bit of a harder swing into some deeper topics. And I have been thinking in my mind about if I want to like say what these triggers are, because they're like important. If they're triggers for you, you probably shouldn't read this book. So if you don't want to hear what these triggers are, skip ahead. Okay, so the triggers.
They just skipped ahead though, like the 15 seconds, but it took us
Okay, well, let me say it really fast before the 15 seconds are up. Okay. For like abusive relationships.
Okay.
Fertility issues.
Okay.
Pregnancy loss.
Okay.
Those are all big themes in this book. So if that's something that is going to be sensitive for you, you might want to skip this one. Because there was a lot more depth in this book than I expected from like your typical popcorn thriller. So this is definitely not a popcorn thriller. And also popcorn thrillers might have like a little romance subplot. This one definitely had more of like, as the book went on, there was more and more, it was like a love story, maybe not but it was a romance. I'm a little conflicted about it. I'm still processing. I finished this book like a couple hours ago and it was good and I liked it. It wasn't necessarily what I expected, but not in a bad way. It was just a lot more themes than I was expecting from like your typical mystery or thriller. Okay. But if you like mystery thrillers, if you maybe don't like mystery thrillers, but you like romance, if you like cool audio productions, this is definitely one to check out. It was really cool. The audio production of it was really good.
I'm about to look it up on Goodreads.
It's new, and I've seen a lot of people people in the reader world really like it.
What was her name? Tiffany
Crum.
I remember the Crum part.
What do you think? Do you reckon you would read this?
I reckon I will not read that.
No.
Some of the trigger stuff gives me hesitation.
Yeah.
But also, I'm pretty sure I already figured it out. So. I'm pretty sure I have. So
I will say the aspect of her having severe narcolepsy was very interesting. From a lot of different perspectives of how it impacted her life in like several things that she planned to do in her life, like how she had to keep to a very strict schedule in order just to like live day to day with like her medications, her sleep schedule, all of these things because of her severe narcolepsy. And that was really interesting.
That would be kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm pretty sure I've already got the ending figured out.
Well, we can debrief after the episode today.
I will.
I'll let you know how
and
many.
You're going to be like, how did you know that? I'm a genius. I'm a book genius.
Okay, Beccah. What are you currently reading?
Okay. I don't know how I feel about what I'm reading. So.
Oh, okay.
And I think you're going to be like, yeah, Beccah, because this book probably isn't what you think it's about. And you know what? I don't know what this book's about. We have a book club, and someone recommended this book. And listen, I'm not judging this person for their recommendation, because everything they said about this book sounded like Beccah Bland. Well, the parts I heard. I remember being like, I just read this book, and people are like, oh, what is it about? And it was like, oh, it's about this like woman who's like trapped in this like situation, and she's gonna have like mental health stuff, and basically she's gonna like have all the I don't know if it goes suicidal. I have no idea. But like a woman who's being oppressed in some way leading to some type of mental health issues. I love books like that.
What book is this?
The Mad Wife? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
The Mad... I'm reading it. Is that what it's called? Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Okay. So they were describing this book, and I was like, that's right up my alley. I mean, what are my favorite books?
You
Summer?
love a book about a woman devolving into madness.
I do. Okay. And that's what it sounded like to me. Did I search anything about this going into it?
Of course not.
No. Did I read the blurb?
Of course not.
No. I thought the cover was cool. I thought the woman going mad was cool. And I was like, I'm in. So let's read this together and see what this book's about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what the book's about, and I'm a little terrified because there are things happening that I'm like, ooh, where's that going to go? That seems a little creepy. Is this scary? I don't know. Because is the book scary? I really have no clue. I don't even know what genre. I mean, I'm assuming it's not like romance, but I know nothing about it.
Well, let's read the blurb together.
Okay, all right. Lulu Mayfield has spent the last 5 years molding herself into the perfect 1950s housewife. Got that. Love it. I was like, I'm in. Despite the tragic memories that haunt her and the weight of exhausting expectations, she keeps her husband happy, her household running, and her gelatin salads the talk of the neighborhood. She's not lying. That is kind of a funny like bit in it, is like all the Jell-O salads. Like,
Okay.
did you think of the 1950s and all the disgusting food?
Yeah.
Like at one point it was talking about frosting it with mayo.
Oh, stop. Oh,
And I was like,
nope,
nah.
stop it. Keep going.
That's the 50s. So, but after she gives birth to her second child, and see that just happened. So that's up to where I've read.
Okay.
All this is brand new.
Okay.
Lulu's carefully crafted life begins to unravel. I'm still here. I'm there for it. When a new neighbor, Bitsy, moves in, Lulu suspects that something darker lurks behind the woman's constant smile. I'm suspecting that too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. As her fixation on Bitsy deepens, Lulu is drawn into a web of unsettling truths that threaten to expose the cracks in her own life. The more she uncovers about Bitsy, the more she questions everything she thought she knew, and soon others begin questioning her sanity. But is Lulu truly losing her mind, or is she on the verge of discovering a reality too terrifying to accept? In the vein of The Bell Jar, one of my favorite books, and The Hours, the Mad Wife weaves domestic drama with psychological suspense so poignant and immersive, you won't want to put it down. Well, I don't know if that's true, because I'm struggling to care.
How far in are you?
Like 2 hours?
Of how many hours?
9?
Okay. So
No, I'm making that up. Let me look. I don't know.
So you're not too far in.
No, I mean, she just had the second baby.
Mm-hmm.
Part 1, chapter 6, an hour and 53 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, when our friend was talking about this at book club, she said, I don't remember if it was like halfway through or a little further, that like something happens and it like completely changes what she thought was going on in the book. Like there's this huge twist.
Well, so here's the thing. Either this twist is really going to sell it for me, or I'm going to have nightmares for like 10 years. I don't know, because Bitsy is creepy and I can't tell what's going to happen with Miss Bitsy, but she's weird. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously this is what I think this is representing. And I'm trying to go into all my, like, what's happening with
English
Bitsy.
Professor Beccah.
And I'm like, okay, this is what I think's going to happen. I feel like I know what's going to happen.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. But I don't know. And I'm also like scared a little bit, because I'm like, does someone die? Does someone get murdered? These are things I need to know about books.
I got to tell you, I'm honestly surprised that you picked this one up.
Okay, why?
Because I think this is like a thriller.
See?
I like how you only listened to the parts that made you happy and you ignored the rest.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
It got compared to the Bell Jar, and that's all I needed to know.
You were sold.
And I was sold.
I
I didn't even like question it. I just said, I'm reading that.
The Mad Wife, you're in. I looked up on Goodreads. These are the genres listed. Historical fiction, book club, great. And then we get into thriller, horror, mystery thriller, feminism.
Well, yeah, we got that.
Yeah. So I'm a little worried for you.
SOS. If anyone knows if I need to put this book down, just direct message me.
DM her.
Do it on my private Instagram so Summer doesn't get a spoiler.
Well, now I have to read it because I have to know what's going to happen.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be like horror. I mean, I don't know. Bitsy could.
Hang on. Explain what horror is because people can't see you.
Oh, I didn't give the Shining with that sound effect. That wasn't obvious that I had a knife in my hand going.
I hear it now.
Okay.
Just over here stabbing.
I don't know how that wasn't obvious. So I don't think it's going to go that horror, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But the person who recommended it, I was like, should I read it? And they were like, yeah. I feel like they kind of know me. Maybe not. They're probably listening to this right now being like, sucker. What an idiot.
This was their way of getting you to read a thriller.
And I'm scared because I just know. You know what vibes it's given me? And I never watched this movie.
The Harry Styles one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the vibes it's giving me.
What was that? Florence Pugh and Harry Styles?
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. I don't. 22.
Stop. What was that called?
Don't Worry, Darling?
Don't Worry, Darling.
That's the one where he like spit on Chris Pine.
Yeah, and I know that's the one where it's like they're having an intense moment in the living room and he like eats a carrot. I know that much. Because people are like, he ate a carrot? Like what? Like it's just like a raw carrot. It's like
I intended to watch that one and I never did. Still need to.
So here's the thing. It's a movie that I'm like, it's creepy and psychological enough that I'm a little scared. But if I knew how it ended, I think I would really be into it.
Yeah.
So part of me is like,
is this that?
Is this that? But I think I'm going to have to spoil it for myself.
Yeah, I think that you don't mind spoilers. Mm-mm. You like to know triggers. Mm-hmm. I think that is probably the smartest course of action. I will tell you that at
the beginning of the audiobook, the author says, this book contains a lot of things that could be hard for you. So if it gets to a point where you can't handle it, go ahead and put the book down.
And you kept going?
I was like, pish posh, mental health, women spiraling into madness. I'm there. I'm good. I thought that's what it was alluding to. Not. But Bitsy's got the vibes. And I'm terrified for Lulu and for myself.
Mm-hmm. I'm terrified for you too.
And I don't know if this picture, by the way, this is by Meagan Church. Just so you know, I never said that. Mm-hmm. But is this cover not amazing?
It's great. It's like a 50s housewife with like her eyes covered by like a black bar, like a censorship bar.
Okay, I'm also going to say something. And I don't think it's a spoiler, but again, jump ahead if you want to. There's a part where she's like talking to Bitsy. I'm only like 20% in here, people. So if this is a spoiler, sorry. I don't know the twist. And she's like, I looked at the wallpaper. And then she like sees it move. And I was like, ooh. Made me think yellow wallpaper.
Right, an illusion.
Made me think mad woman. And I'm like, I'm here for it. But then Bitsy is just like.
Explain your facial expression.
I'm just staring at you with intense.
Wide eyes.
Wide eyes.
Not blinking. Or blinking too much.
No. Doesn't talk about her blinking. I don't know. That was just my interpretation.
Sure.
But it is just like a lot of like blank. Like she's talking to her and she's just like.
Oh, I'm creeped out now. Stop it. Stop looking at me like that.
That's Bitsy.
I got really uncomfortable.
Like it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable reading it.
Uh-huh.
So guys, I don't know. Like, do I keep going?
I mean, I think look up the triggers.
I'm scared.
www.doesthedogdie.com or whatever it is.
I don't think that's it.
It's not the URL.
And I don't know if that exists at all.
Does the Dog Die is for sure a website you can look up triggers on.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like you're about to take me to some site I should not.
No.
Anyways, so I'm scared, Summer.
I'm scared for you, but also
I don't know if I like that you're scared for me. I wanted you to give me like...
I can't give you any reassurance because I don't know. Apparently, I need to read this book.
Yeah, it sounds like you. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
What are you currently reading? Top that one, Summer.
Well, I don't think I'm going to top that, but I also have a book that I'm not quite sure what I think of yet.
Okay,
twinsies. I know. Well, it's not as like emotionally damaging, sounds like, as yours is. This is one that because I finished...
Potentially emotionally damaging.
Sure. This is one that I started today because I finished This Story May Save Your Life today.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I got to have a book to say that I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading this one.
Okay. I'm excited.
It is So Far Gone by Jess Walter. I feel like you've never heard of this.
I have not. I've never even seen that cover, but I'm going to look at it. Oh, it's so cute. It looks like an old like national park vibes.
Yeah, there's like a cabin and like a tree and So Far Gone by Jess Walter. This is one that I have heard of. Like I've heard other people talk about.
Where have you heard of this book?
On other book podcasts. At least 2 others. And
her other book podcast friends.
You know I'm an avid podcast listener.
I know, I love it.
And I picked it up because I remember them saying it was like funny. And I was like, I would love a book that's like lighter and funny right now.
Yeah,
you know,
pick up The Mad Wife.
And I don't know that this is exactly what I thought I was getting into.
Not funny yet.
Let me read it to you. Okay.
What, name one more time. Sorry.
So Far Gone.
So Far Gone.
From the #1 New York Times bestselling author of Beautiful Ruins and in the propulsive spirit of Charles Portis's True Grit comes a hilarious, empathetic, and brilliantly provocative adventure through life in modern America about a reclusive journalist forced back into the world to rescue his kidnapped grandchildren.
Oh, hilarious.
Reese Kinnick has gone off the grid. At Thanksgiving a few years back, a fed-up Reese punched his conspiracy theorist son-in-law in the mouth, chucked his smartphone out a car window, and fled for a cabin in the woods with no one around except a pack of hungry raccoons. Now,
that sounds kind of funny.
Now Kinnick's old life is about to land right back on his crumbling doorstep. Can this failed husband and father, a man with no internet and a car that barely runs, re-emerge into a broken world to track down his missing daughter and save his sweet, precocious grandchildren from the members of a dangerous militia? With the help of his caustic ex-girlfriend, a bipolar retired detective, and his only friend, who happens to be furious with him, Kinnick heads off on a wild journey through cultural lunacy in the rubble of a life he thought he'd left behind. So Far Gone is a rollicking, razor-sharp, and moving road trip through a fractured nation from a writer who has been called a genius of the modern American movement.
Okay. I have a couple things before you even start discussing.
Oh, okay. Let me know.
1. That sounds like when you read the Little Lamb book blurb.
Lost Lambs?
Lost Lambs blurb.
Uh-huh.
And it was just all over the place and words that should not belong in the same like paragraph together, all just being thrown together.
Yeah.
That similar vibe.
Yeah.
Also, hang with me for a second.
Okay.
For all of you longtime podcast listeners, do you guys remember a long time ago when Summer brought a book about these kids who didn't know their dad and they were going on a road trip and they were getting in a car?
Oh my gosh, Beccah.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that book up.
You were?
Yes.
Okay, what was the book called? Do you remember?
Run for the Hills.
Run for the Hills. What if this is the dad
Oh my gosh.
that they're looking for, but really the whole time he's been
In the woods.
With
no
so far
phone.
gone with no phone, and he thinks they've all been kidnapped
By a militia group.
And that's why he left all these families.
I love this fanfic that you're writing right now.
I'm really impressed that I still remember that book.
I'm very impressed.
It's been on my list for a long time because I actually do want to read that book.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I was thinking about that book
While reading this?
See?
Because look at us.
So both of them are like odd and quirky and funny.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this book is odd and quirky and funny, but whereas Run for the Hills, that's Kevin Wilson. I love Kevin Wilson's writing because it's like funny and odd in like a hopeful way.
Okay.
This book is funny and odd in like a bitter kind of like way.
Yeah,
I don't know how to.
I see the difference. I think I get what you're saying.
Yes. And so it's like
Just a different vibe.
it is a different vibe. It is funny, but it is very political in a way that I wasn't expecting, I guess. It like we jump through the heads of multiple different people. And it is interesting in that like, so the main character, Reese Kinnick, he like leaves to go live in the woods because he's tired of like the political climate that he's covered as a reporter and like the increasing like radicalization of government and all this stuff. So that's like his political perspective. He gets in a fight with his...
You know, strangely, the book cover kind of gives me that vibe a
yes,
little bit.
Yes. The son-in-law is like pretty far right extremist political viewpoints. And then it like, we also jump into the heads of several of the other characters who also have different viewpoints. And none of them are necessarily portrayed as like the one that you can tell the writer believes. So it's not like this is a specific viewpoint or like a specific agenda. I will say the far right militia group that kidnaps the children is painted as wrong, which I feel like is safe. Safe bet to say that's wrong.
I was trying to see where you were going with that.
Kidnapping children, bad.
Yeah, okay.
But like all of the other people like have different political views and like we go into their heads for a moment and we're like seeing their perspective of the events unfolding. None of them are necessarily, like I said, portrayed as like this is the correct way to view it.
Yeah, it's just...
But they're all just like bitter about it in like a funny way. So I'm like, like in, but I don't know that I'm sold yet. I don't know. It's very funny. I think the more I listen to it, the more I'm like getting the voice and the more I'm like kind of like chuckling. It is just kind of like cynical humor, if that makes sense.
There's like a phrase that you read. I was trying to find it. Adventure through life in modern America, which again kind of does lean. Obviously, modern America is
very politicized, very
and a reclusive journalist. So that makes me think too, let's see, a rollicking, razor sharp and moving road trip through a fractured nation. That made me wonder what it was going to do with. That was the line that I was like, what does that mean? But that makes sense with the political.
Yes.
So do you feel like it, so far, you said it doesn't really feel like it's saying one is right or wrong yet?
Right. And I do remember someone on one of the podcasts that I learned about this book from said that it never really like picks a side, and so it's not like, oh, this type of, if you have this type of political leaning you should avoid this book, that it's almost like
kind of
fair to multiple of them.
Is that playing it safe, or
I don't know yet.
Is that the point?
I don't know yet. We'll see. And like I said, I think the more I get into it, and maybe it's one of those like they're all kind of curmudgeonly characters, so the more
I do love a good curmudgeon.
I know, so the more that I like spend time with them, maybe the more fondness I'll feel for them.
And maybe the bitterness starts shifting.
Maybe. I do love that in a book. So we'll see. I'm at the point, and I don't think this is a spoiler because it sets it up in the blurb, that like he has just decided that he needs to like go and save his grandchildren from this militia group that took them. And he's like just gonna go charge into like the Idaho mountains and be like, give me the kids back. And I can't wait to see what happens because I don't think it's going to go well.
But you know what? Good for him.
Good for him.
He's very proactive, you know?
So it is funny. And I'm curious to see where it's going to go. It's only like an 8-hour audiobook. So like I said, I started it this afternoon after work and I'm already 40% in. Like it's been an easy listen, a quick listen. It's funny. So I'm very curious to see how it goes. I've heard good things.
I'll be interested to see what you think once you finish it.
Yeah. It's more political than I expected. I just wanted something like funny. Ha ha. And I'm like, oh.
It's funny, but heavy.
Yeah. Maybe not heavy. I don't know. It's one of those like maybe too, because I am very aware of a lot of current events and politics and things. Maybe for someone that is more unplugged from a lot of that, it wouldn't. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Do you reckon you would read this?
Honestly, maybe.
I could see you reading this.
I think like it sounds like a book that I would read.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those books that like, you need to tell me if I need to bump it up, because it would be a book that would like go on a list. They'd be like, oh, I'm interested in it, but when would I get to it? Yeah. It would have to have like something about it that made me say, I want to read that right now.
Yeah.
Like The Mad Wife. you know, we always know how that works out for me. So
I will say, if you want a funny book between the two options, right now I would say go Kevin Wilson, because that is more like sentimental and heartfelt and like upswing and found family, and those are all like buzzy for me.
Well, maybe this is going to be a found family. You don't know.
Maybe they're in the mountains of Idaho.
Maybe all these groups come together and they realize, you know what, guys, let's put aside our differences and just like, let's just love each other.
Maybe that's how it ends.
Start like being hippies in the woods together and free love.
You
You don't think it's going to go that
Utopia? No, I don't think so.
Okay. But I'm not reading it.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you what's up next for you, but I think you have a proposition for me.
I do. Okay, so we're going to get into this in a little bit, but it is National Poetry Month. And so one of my goals this year was to switch up forms and be more intentional. And I have been doing a real good job. I just want to say that. Okay. I've read a lot of nonfic. I've read some essays, but I haven't read any poetry. Well, I mean, I've read poetry, but not like a book of poetry. So I'm going to read a book of poetry, but I'm going to let you pick which one. Summer and I have a huge stack
Stack of collections.
Stack of poetry books right here, which just shows how nerdy we are. And this is not all of the ones that we own. I love that we're holding that up like anyone can see this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books.
We brought 12. Hold on, I'm going to look at it this way so I can see the titles.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so
We have quite the spread of like classics through contemporary. But it is hands down not a question what book I think you should read.
Okay, well, hold on. You're getting too excited.
I'm so excited.
She's looking at this book. She's just looking at the stack, and she said, I already know which one I'm picking. I didn't even give her the proposition yet.
Oh, okay.
I kind of did. So, yeah, I'm going to have her pick for me, which I guess she's already picked. But I was going to say I didn't want any of the classics because I've done them. I don't want the Ruby Carr because I've read those recently. So I kind of want it to go with this group in the middle right here. So I'm going to throw out some names. You might not know who they are, but we'll talk more later. So I got some Ada Limon. I've got 4 of her books right here. We went and listened to her.
We did.
And then we bought like every one of her books.
She signed them.
And it was beautiful. And then I've read this one before too, so probably should do that one. Nathan Brown. He's an Oklahoma author. I'm pretty sure. And then you brought a couple that look very interesting to me that I have not read. So she has a Lyndsay Rush, a Mary Oliver, and a Kate Baer. You get a pick for me. What am I going to read?
You are going to read A Bit Much, a poetry collection by Lyndsay Rush.
I've never heard of this.
Okay.
This has got some weight to it.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
I will also say for the listeners who cannot see that this is, I think, the second ever book I ever annotated.
Really?
Yes.
So do I need to get a hard copy?
You can use my copy.
I can just borrow yours? Okay.
Yeah.
I looked right all in it. I'm just kidding.
Don't you dare.
I won't. I know. I would like murder someone if they did that to me. So
I have this like very pretty rainbow of like.
What if I like messed up all of her rainbows? I put them in different orders.
You know, it's funny. I probably wouldn't know because I read this like 3 years ago. I read this book. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Lyndsay Rush, I learned about from Instagram.
Okay.
Because she has the handle Mary Oliver's drunk cousin.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes, that I think she started like funny posting.
We'll tell you more about Mary Oliver later. So,
and then she like got a lot of traction, and then ended up like traditionally publishing like a collection of poetry that she had been like funny posting.
So is it like edgy? Is it funny? Is it?
It is very funny. It is. So this is a collection of poems that she like maybe first put on Instagram, and then she like got this deal to have a poetry collection and like filled it out with actual, not that Instagram poems aren't actual poems.
No. I know.
And so it is very funny. It's very like millennial feeling.
Okay.
So here, would you like to read the book?
Oh yeah, I guess I could. Let me just read the whole book real quick. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's read it. At long last, this is my first time, guys, because I've never even heard of this book. A book of poetry for people who didn't even know they liked poetry. Okay, well, I knew I liked poetry, but... And they're in good company. Lyndsay Rush didn't know she liked it either. That is, until she embarked on the internet experiment under the Instagram handle at Mary Oliver's Drunk Cousin, which is so funny, which turned into a body of work that struck a chord with women across the country, thanks to her signature wordplay, witticisms, and against all odds, wisdom. What a weird way to say that. And against all odds, we thought this girl was an idiot, but there's some wisdom in there too. She got some brains in there somewhere. With titles like Sheedonism, Someone to Eat Chips With, it's called Maximalism, Babe, and Breaking News, Local Woman Gets Out of Bed. Rush's debut collection of poetry uses humor to grapple with the female experience, from questioning whether to have children to roasting the patriarchy and challenging what it means to age gracefully. Look, we already know I'm in. Each piece delivers gut-punching truths alongside gratifying punchlines, reminding readers that joy is an urgent, worthwhile pursuit and that being a bit much is something to be proud of. I love it. I'm excited.
It is so good. She does so many fun things.
This little purple dot kept making me feel like there was like a hole punch here and that there was a hole in this book. Means nothing to you guys, but there is a perfect like dark circle right in the center of the back that looks like a
little confetti dot.
Yeah. I like the size of them.
Yeah. Her poems are very aesthetically pleasing. She does the like blackout poems. She'll write a poem and then she'll take that poem and do a blackout poem to create a new one.
Oh,
she does a lot of fun things to like inspire poems. Like she will take headlines from the news and use that as like the title of a poem and like write a poem on that theme or that topic.
I want to do that.
It's so fun. I mean, she's a great follow on Instagram. She will like post her poetry, but then she'll also like, she writes like a poem a day and will like post it. And it is so fun. What?
I'm just looking at some of the title. This is a title that Summer flagged. Frequent crier. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, You've Got Mail. That's a great one to flag. Let's see what else we got here. Love is what now? This little light. That's cute. Okay, well, none of the other ones were as funny as Frequent crier. That just fit you perfectly. Hysterical. That's mine. Just kidding. Frequent choir. Choir. Ah, frequent choir. And hysterical. I love a mad woman. I don't know if I love a mad wife, but I love a mad woman. No, I'm really excited because I wanted to read some poems this month. Make myself do it. But I think this one's going to be like super engaging and funny. And I do not do contemporary poetry as much. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah. I am excited for you to read it. I hope you like it. Like I said, it was one of my favorite books of like 2023.
I already like the look of them. Like I'm a big like structure person when it comes to poetry. And I like the aesthetic of how she frames a lot of her poems and stuff like that. So,
and they're very accessible. I read this, obviously this was one of my like first forays into poetry. Like I don't know much about poetry form and like line breaks and, you know,
you peasant.
Right.
Just kidding.
And so it was very accessible.
It's all downhill after 30. Sheesh, tell me about it. It's a rapid decline. That's the first line. Sorry.
So, yay. I'm excited for you to read it.
I'm excited. Sorry, I got distracted. You can't give me a book with colorful tabs and don't think I'm going to be over here playing with it.
It just makes me so happy to see it. I want to reread it now.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
You know I'm going to like read this and then I'm going to want a copy of my own.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So, all right. Well, fine. I'll do it. No, I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. What are you about to read?
So, on the same theme of poetry, I have a collection of poems that I have not yet read.
Did we both plan to read a book of poems for our upcoming?
No, I had other options, but you've inspired me.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was not planned, y'all, if we did that.
You have inspired me. And so I have this book that I bought several months ago and I have not cracked open. So this is How About Now by Kate Baer, #1 New York Times bestselling author of What Kind of Woman.
I like the cover of it too.
Yes. I feel like this is probably a similar vibe to the Lyndsay Rush poetry style of like contemporary poetry on like themes and topics of womanhood. I've heard good things about Kate Baer. Some of our friends that read poetry have highly rated her previous collections. So let's see what it says.
Yes, I'm excited.
Renowned poet Kate Baer returns with bold and compassionate collection that confronts the march of time in a shifting world. With her trademark candor and curiosity, Baer explores what it means to grow older, to release children into the wildness of their own lives, and to reclaim the ever-evolving self. Raw, luminous, and urgent, these poems channel Baer's own journey to middle age into poems that are profoundly intimate, yet resound universally, identifying the beauty, resilience, and fragility that arrive in every stage of life. How About Now is a striking declaration of ongoing transformation and self-discovery. From the poet who has captured the heartbeat of the modern woman, this collection reaffirms Kate Baer's place among the most vital voices of our era.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
We cannot go on without talking about this cover, though, because this cover's a little wild.
It's like a woman floating in a body of water, and her face is below the water. Yeah, there's clouds and stars.
But I think we're missing the main thing, that this is a naked woman.
I mean, she could have a swimsuit on.
I don't think she has a swimsuit.
She could have. I mean, you can't really see anything.
I do not think this woman. I think everything is covered with the letters of the book. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
Okay, well.
I think there's a naked woman.
Naked woman.
I love a good. Just kidding.
Up my alley.
Up my alley. Oh, well, that's exciting, but that's a good segue.
Yes, it is time for our spotlight segment this episode. Beccah, what are we talking about?
Okay, well, I spoiled it. Spoiled it. That sounded so Oklahoman. I spoiled it when I said it was National Poetry Month.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are going to talk some poetry, which some of y'all just rolled your eyes or maybe got transported back to like high school. And some of y'all might have just turned off the podcast.
Which, if so, they're not listening now.
I know. Sorry.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, poetry can be a weird form of literature to talk about because it gets mixed reviews. Mm-hmm. Some people love it. Some people hate it. And then you've got those that are just kind of indifferent.
Yeah. And because of that, we thought like, because it is National Poetry Month, we want to kind of like stay in that spirit and maybe, you know, give some fresh perspective. I don't know how to say that.
But like recommendations?
Yeah. So we're going to start with sharing a few of our favorites, like favorite poets. And then we actually are going to like offer some suggestions or recommendations that could be a good place to start if like you would also like to challenge yourself this month to read some poetry. And don't worry, I will try my hardest not to get too English professor-ish.
Hey, I'm here for English Professor Beccah.
I know. I'm also teaching poetry in class right now, so I'm trying real hard to like rein it in.
Well, if you've been wanting to give poetry a try but don't know where to start, hopefully this can help. Mm-hmm. Think of it as if you have a complicated relationship with poetry, start here list.
Yeah. So before we get to the list, though, I do think it'd be fun if we shared some of our personal favorite poets. So, Summer, who are a few of your favorite authors / poets that you read?
Okay. So this, I feel like, is a hard question because I don't know that I follow like a specific poet or like I have read widely enough to say this poet is someone that I love. I've only really read a few collections by a few poets. I do love, though, like an Instagram poet. That's how I found out about Lyndsay Rush. Love Lyndsay Rush.
So that more like modern.
Yeah.
Not multimodal or mixed medium necessarily, but like there's like a word I'm thinking of that's like that really quick like snapshot of something that can be posted super quick on Instagram. Like I do think it's like a style. Yeah. There's probably a term for
like
it.
Like flash fiction?
Maybe.
But in poetry form. I will say for years I've loved like there's like Facebook accounts of like button poetry, and it's a lot of like spoken word poetry.
Yeah, I do love spoken
I do
word.
love like videos of poets reading aloud their poems. There's just like a rhythm to it and cadence to it. They usually have to be pretty short form, and so they like pack a punch in a short amount of time. There is so there's a lot that I know from that type of form. I love a notes app poem that someone posts on their story, and then I'll like it, reshare it. Yeah, I love those things. There are a few I feel like are really big right now. Obviously, Lyndsay Rush. There's Josie Balka, which I've heard her voice. You would probably recognize her voice because she writes poems, speaks them on videos, and then people will use that audio over their own like picture collages or different things.
Okay.
She just released a poetry collection that I've had a few friends read and like rate highly. So that type of poetry is what I usually
like lean into.
I think you have exposed me to other types. Like early on in our reader friendship, you invited me to a poetry event. Do you want to talk about that?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because you've actually read more of her than I have.
Yeah. Our former U.S. Poet Laureate, Ada Limon,
who we mentioned earlier.
Yes. She came to Oklahoma City for an event at one of the local universities. And so we got to go and listen to her, read from her work, and she signed books.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was so good and so moving. And so I purchased some of her books, read some of her collections, really enjoy her as a poet.
Yeah, she's really good.
Amanda Gorman is another one.
Yeah.
Love Amanda Gorman, who I think she was the first ever youth poet laureate.
Yeah, I believe so.
She read.
Was she the first ever youth laureate? I'm not sure. Like, I can't remember. There was a distinction though, but I can't remember like what it was.
She read a poem at like presidential inauguration.
Didn't she do the inauguration for President Biden? Yeah. We've had a lot of poet laureates do like readings at presidential.
The first person to be named National Youth Poet Laureate.
Oh, so first ever. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed her
I knew it was
work.
a first something, but I wasn't quite sure. So,
and she's one too that when she reads her poems,
oh yeah, she's great.
It's so moving. Yeah.
And she's obviously released a few like collections as well. And I've read bits and pieces of some of her collections, and I've really enjoyed them. I've never sat down and read the whole book yet. I have a couple of them, but
yeah. So off the top of my head, those are the ones I can think of.
Okay. That's a pretty good list.
What about you?
Okay. So obviously I'm probably going to be a little different than you. I'm definitely going to lean more to the classics when it comes to like my preferred style of poetry. So, if I had to like pick a poet and say it's probably my favorite poet, I would say John Keats. Which is really funny and no one cares, but I have like my little notes here, and I put Robert Keats. That's not his name. His name is John Keats.
Your favorite poet.
My favorite poet, Robert Keats. What if I just would have trusted that and went with it? I was like, his name is not Robert. It's John Keats.
Are you thinking Robert Frost?
Maybe. I think I was mixing, but now I'm like, do I trust myself on my favorite poets? John Keats. Yes, John Keats. Thank you. Okay. That was just really random. I was like, why is that saying Robert? So if I were to say my favorite poet, I'm usually going to go with Keats, is who I'm going to say. But obviously we also know how much you can trust this is my favorite. But he stays pretty consistent. And particularly if you are a Keats fan, I do like one of his more popular ones. It's not his most popular, but Bright Star is the poem that is like, I don't know, it just meant a lot to me. I've actually read it out loud.
Yeah, she's done a dramatic reading in front of me before.
It's so good. So that's who I would usually say is like my favorite poet / favorite poem. But of course, I'm also going to be like a big Shakespeare fan, which I know sounds like, oh, of course you are. But like, what kind of English professor would I be if I didn't like Shakespeare, right? I like a lot of his poems. I will say one of my favorite Shakespeare poems, which is one of the classics that like everyone loves, is Sonnet 18. But I teach that poem, and so like it's just become really special to me over time. But it's in case you guys don't know, Shakespeare's poems actually aren't titled. They're just numbers. So sonnet 18, but we refer to them as their first line. See, I'm getting too... I said I wouldn't do it. So that is Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day. Thou art more lovely and more temperate, and rough winds do shake the darling buds of May.
Wow.
I could do the whole thing, but I'm not going to. I read it all the time in class and I love it. So those would be like the people I typically lean into. Other classics that I love, or classic poets that I love, would be like Emily Dickinson, of course. A Sad Woman. Well, you know, I love him. William Blake is in one. He's an oddball, but I love him. Rumi. I like Rumi. Poe. How can you not love Poe? A sad man. My favorite type. I think I have a something I need to deal with over here. Now, I don't read as much modern or contemporary as I would say a Summer does. I know you say like you don't read a ton, but you still read more contemporary than I do probably. I would, let's say like early modern though, like I would have to throw like Langston Hughes in there. He is one of my favorite poets as well. I think he's one of the best ever. Sylvia Plath, Rupi Kaur, Ada Limon would be on my list. But that I don't read a lot of like super current poets. So that's actually a weaker area for me. That's why I'm excited that you picked someone I had never heard of.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, Beccah. How can I not have said that one of my favorite poets is Taylor Swift?
Well, if you can say Taylor Swift, then I'm going to say one of my favorite poets is Noah Kahn, which is
okay,
our personalities.
Hang on. Sure, but
his work, his lyrics.
Sure, his lyrics are great. But like Taylor Swift wrote the Tortured Poets Department and wrote a poem that was basically like the thesis of what that album was, connecting all the thematic things. Like, that's poetry.
Yeah, she is actually very like poetic. You want to know what's funny that you said Taylor Swift? You want to know what the very first book of poems I ever read was?
What?
And I hope my sister is in her car listening to this right now being like, I know, because we ate this book up. Jewel,
the singer?
Yes. She released a book of poetry. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, I don't know, in the early 2000s. I don't know. How old? You didn't know Jewel wrote a book of poems?
No, I didn't. But if we're talking about childhood poetry,
Shel Silverstein.
I was obsessed with Shel Silverstein.
How could you not be?
I think there was a period of time in like early Pinterest years when I got real emo about poetry and I would like save Shel Silverstein poems. Stop. Also, there was at least one Langston Hughes poem that I was real emo about and would like made a special Pinterest board on.
Of course. I remember, I don't know if I bought the Jewel book. My sister's like, no, it was mine. Like, I know she's like angry in her car right now. It was probably hers. Because she was like a Jewel fan. And we got the book. And I don't know if she remembers. But I remember feeling so scandalous reading it. Because some of it was like so like sexy. Like, a lot about the body. And like intimacy. And like all these things. And I was like, little high school like sheltered girl. And I was like, my mom can never know I've read this
poem.
It was a whole book. And so you know what? It was my sister's book. So if my mom ever finds out, I'm going to be like, it was hers.
It was hers.
It was hers.
I love that you guys shared that experience, though, of connecting over Jewel's poetry.
It was good.
I believe
like, she's really good. I cannot remember what the book's called. Anyways.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was the first book of poetry I ever read. And I was like, whatever this is, I like it. And I don't think it was just because it was sexy. But maybe.
Then goes on to become an English professor. Okay. That was a lot of names that we just dropped really fast.
Yes.
Some of them are on our list we're about to talk about. Mm-hmm. But this list we broke down by category to help make it a little bit more manageable if you're really wanting to give poetry a go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the first group, and we're not going to like just overload you with like 50 million poets here, even though we've already kind of done that. But for people who are wanting to get into poetry, or like this month you want to challenge yourself, these are some like great entry point poets. Like they aren't super difficult to read. So they're really good for like new readers, but they're also like old readers of poetry also love these people. So it's not like, oh, this is just kind of like beginner poetry. Like, no, that's not what I mean, but they're easily like accessible. So one of the big names in the poetry world is Mary Oliver. Summer brought one of her books tonight.
Yeah. I want to dig into Mary Oliver.
Yes, people love Mary Oliver. I've read I've read poems of Mary Oliver. I've never read an entire collection. But the one that Summer is holding right now is called Devotions, and that's like one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm. So when I bought this, I actually bought this from Fabled in Waco, Texas.
Oh, it has Jenna on it.
It has Read with Jenna. This must have been one of her selections. I had a hard time choosing between Devotions or is it Winter Hours is another one of her collections.
I think so. That sounds...
which one? And so I went with this one because it had a lot of like nature themes. I was like,
and that's kind of what she's known for. So a lot of nature. I literally have in my notes a lot of nature themes. It's like peaceful, quiet emotion. Not that it's not there, but again, she's pretty easy to read, easy to digest. Another really good one in that kind of realm would be like Billy Collins. 80s, I think, is kind of like the big, when he was like a big thing.
Okay.
Fact check me on that. I don't know. The reason I actually teach a Billy Collins poem, and I'm pretty sure it was written in like 1989. That's the only reason because I literally do not have a photographic memory, but I see my sheet in my head and it says Billy Collins, Introduction to Poetry, 1989 or something like that. He is also a really good poet. He's very conversational. He's funny. He's very readable. Introduction to Poetry is a really fun one to start with because it is literally a poem. Like the very beginning of it says, like, I asked them to take a poem and hold it to the light like a color slide, and a color slide would be like the old. That's what. There's going to be some dated language. That's why I'm like telling you time perioded. But I actually have old color slides and I bring them to class, and my students like look at the color slides as we're reading Billy Collins. So, Rupi Kaur, she's more modern, short, very short little poems. You've read Rupi Kaur.
I have. And I feel like she might have been like one of the forefront of like a social media type of poet because she had a lot of interesting like line spacing form.
She does, yeah.
And I feel like that was like an early viral poetry thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I read her Milk and Honey collection early
She's really good. I will say there's obviously like, I don't know if I'd say trigger warning, but kind of some of her poetry deals with some like really hard like truths, if that makes sense. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I remember there being like some like abuse type themes, like sexual abuse in particular.
Yeah, toxic.
Nothing ever super graphic, but it's definitely there. And so you'll read like one poem, you'll be like, oh my gosh, like that was beautiful. And you read the next poem and you're like, oh my gosh, that was devastating.
Yeah.
But so good. But yeah, short little poems, modern. You can pick those up at like Target. But also support your indies. But I'm just saying, like, you see Rupi Kaur everywhere.
Yeah.
You can read a whole book in like one setting.
Yeah.
I ended one year. I wanted to meet my book. Like, I wanted to get like a couple extra book in, and I read both Rupi Kaur like the last day of the year to just get 2 more books.
Have that stat.
Yeah. And then Summer added to this list was the Lyndsay Rush, which we've already talked about.
Yeah. So she's just so readable and like relatable and funny.
So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah. Okay, if you want something with a little bit more weight, this next group of poets are still very accessible, but also impactful. So this is where you could put Langston Hughes. His poetry is very rhythmic, powerful. Like you talked about, he was the voice of the Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah, so good.
And you've also mentioned that I Too Am America poem. I need to go back and look at my old Pinterest boards and see which one it was that was just like my heart as a high schooler. Yeah. Next, we have Maya Angelou. So she's very emotional. She's a strong voice. It's very deeply human. She was also a poet, a National Poet Laureate, and she did the inauguration of President Obama. Oh. She read a poem at his. I think she read Still I Rise. That sounds right. Again, that's a fact check moment, but I'm pretty sure that's what she read. And she, like, I remember
I remember watching it live and like her reading it.
Yeah.
She has passed at this point, but she is still very modern. Like I think within maybe in like the last 5 to 8 years, something like that.
And she passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have Ada Limon here. So she's very modern. She deals with a lot of like issues related to current culture in her poetry, and like multicultural poetry.
Yeah.
Like identity.
Yes.
In her poetry.
A lot of cultural identity.
She's reflective, grounded, but lyrical. I have read The Carrying and Bright Dead Things.
And those are the collections.
I've read those collections of hers. And again, had just so many that I really enjoyed. Also, Sandra Cisneros. We've talked about her before. She's gotten some love from us.
House on Mango Street. That's the one I think we've mentioned on the pod.
Yeah. Some of her poetry collections are My Wicked, Wicked Way, Women Without Shame. She's very poetic. She also deals with a lot of identity and culture in her poetry, very story driven.
Her poetry also is like, it has like this mixture to it. It is like that poetry prose like feel.
Yeah.
So if you've read House on Mango Street, like some people even tie like a couple of her vignettes into her poetry, like My Name, which I've read that one to you. I know you've read it too, but I think I read that to you like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I read this in class. Oh, was that you that I did that to? No.
I don't think so.
I think I did that to another friend. This is awkward.
How dare you read poetry with someone else?
That's our thing. Remember that one time I was like, I think I told my husband this, and you're like, you told me that. This memory.
It's me. I am your husband.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out, Johnny. I love you.
But that is like, she's kind of known for that. It's almost like these like little snapshots of memories, which I think are really cool. Which, to be honest, I think would be a similar vibe to what these current women, well, I mean, not just women, but like what you're talking about, like these Instagram type poems. I feel like she was doing that a long time ago, but like almost on like a photograph instead of Instagram. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That was a very poetic way to think about that. So she was the photograph. This is like the digital photo. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm on a
I see it. I see the vision.
Thank you. Okay, and then our last category. I told you we weren't going to do too many. There's just 3 categories. That's pretty good for us, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you're feeling really brave and you want to try a couple classics, these are where I would start. Don't start with Shakespeare, okay? Unless you like Middle English, but these authors aren't too difficult in my opinion. Emily Dickinson is a good place to start. Short, layered. She's a little strange. She's a little dark at times. Really has a big fixation on death. Sad women. But Because I Could Not Stop for Death is one of her most famous. It's a really good one. Because I Could Not Stop for Death, he kindly stopped for me. She personifies death as a gentleman, and I just love that. Okay. Robert Frost is going to be a big name that people are going to be familiar with. Obviously, he's going to fall into that, like that nature themes a lot. Narrative form a little bit, like he's telling stories, but deceptively simple. Like people read a Robert Frost poem and they're like, oh, it's about this. But there's so many layers to his poem. Obviously, the most famous is The Road Not Taken. And I'll tell you right now, if you got English major friends, you can start fights real quickly if you call that The Road Less Traveled. And they'll be like, that is not the title of the poem. It's The Road Not Taken. And I've heard many of people want to like throw punches. I'm so tired of people calling it The Road Less Taken. It's like, because that's what he says in the poem. But the title is The Road Not Taken.
Road Not Traveled. Oh, yeah.
The Road Not
That's
Taken.
it's toss up. I mean, which is right? You can tell me.
It's The Road Not Taken.
I will say, I recently, at our like library book sale, I bought several Robert Frost collections, and I'm excited to read some more Robert Frost.
He's good. But yeah, so that was if you have any English major friends, if you want to make them mad, I'm just kidding. And then William Blake is also another one I would suggest, and he is a fun one. He's also a little weird. Like, dude literally like had visions that like Bible characters were coming and seeing him in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Like he was visited by Moses. Like in real life. Like he thought that Moses was coming to his home at night and just hanging out with him.
Okay.
It was very weird.
Bet it makes for great poetry.
Great poetry. This is like 1700s. Poetry's very symbolic. He's surprisingly readable, especially from being in the 1700s. He wrote, the reason I added him to this, because I think current readers would love this. He wrote 2 collections of poetry, and one was called Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. And he both basically wrote poems that mirrored each other, where one, because he's during the Romantic period, which is where John Keats is as well. The Romantic authors doesn't mean they're writing love poetry time period. So he would write one, because like the Romantic period was very like, oh, everything's perfect and fine and beautiful and there's nothing bad in the world and da 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 da. And so that was Songs of Innocence. And then he would write the like dark reality of like the mirror of that poem in Songs of Experience. So for example, he wrote 2 poems called The Chimney Sweeper. And in the Songs of Innocence, it's like, oh, look at these cute little kids walking through the streets of London with their little brooms and their little soot on their noses and how cute they are climbing up these chimneys. And then in Songs of Experience, it's like, you're murdering your children. You're sending them into chimneys and they're going to die. I'm being serious. Maybe that's not word for word, but that is literally like the tone of these 2 poems.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's so cool. He also did one called The Lamb and the Tiger and the Lamb in the song. It's like, little lamb who made thee, dost thou know who made thee? Blah, 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 blah. It's very nursery rhyme-ish. And then the Songs of Experience is tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could fear their faithful symmetry? And it's like really dark and da-da-da-da-da. Can you guys imagine me doing this to my students and they don't care?
I'm having so much fun watching you like act out these poems.
But I think that's such a cool concept. Like it, because it kind of mirrors that, like, you know, that like big thing that was like expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
And like people were like making all the memes or whatever. Like he was the OG. And they're super readable. And also, if you ever Google William Blake's like works, he illuminated all of them, so they're all beautiful. Like he hand drew his own like
illustrations,
but kind of like illuminated text almost. So like very like just so pretty, and he like hand drew them. Anyways,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
I gotta say it again. Taylor Swift.
As a classic.
No,
as a classic.
But she references the Romantics and
she does.
Take Me to the Lakes Where All the Poets Went to Die. And
because a lot of the Romantic poets lived in the Lake District, which is the song that that's who she's referencing.
Yeah. She cites her sources.
I will tell you, even if you're not a Swiftie, if you are like a literature person, a lot of her music is really fun. If you know,
there's so many allusions,
so many references to things, especially like that album,
The Tortured Poets.
Yeah,
probably,
like, but yeah, Take Me to the Lakes Where All the Poets. Yeah, like there's so many like, she's talking about Wordsworth and she's talking about blah, 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 blah. But I think those are some really fun, like classic poets that are pretty easy. I think you could also throw Poe in there, especially if you want something like a little dark. But The Raven is also like 1,000 pages long. It's not, but it is long. People are like, let's read The Raven. And then you're like 10 minutes later, you're like, whew. I read it out loud to my class the other day and I was like,
out of breath.
Like really, I was like, I'm so sorry. That was longer than I remembered. But anyways, so we may have just like really pumped you up and got you excited about poetry, or it may have overwhelmed you, or you may be unfollowing.
Hey, start small.
Yeah.
This is an exhaustive list. So you don't have to read all or any of these people to say that you like poetry. Pick one poet to start with and just have fun. Or, go to Instagram and search poem.
Yes. Like that was like such a unique, like you talking about that. That's really unique. Like that's not something I do. Like I follow some people that post poetry, but not like actively looking for it. That's a really cool way to start too.
Yeah. Just dip your feet in.
Yeah. Cause I was telling my students literally today that you don't have to start analyzing poetry the second you like jump into poetry, because I think that's why a lot of like people have like a bad taste, because it's like, what does this bird symbolize?
What does the color blue mean?
What does it mean? And it was never just a bird or never just the color blue. It's like the bird was
Depression.
Isolation. Entrapment. Like, whatever. And it's like, it's just a bird. And your professor's like, no, it's not. And, so I think like there's a lot of poetry trauma to people. Obviously, I love to go to that depth. But honestly, that kind of like reading of poetry comes with time. Because I think what people need to remember is that first instinct and gut reactions to poems is just as important. Because a poet knows that the first time a person reads their poem, they're probably not going to get all the different layers of meaning. They're not going to get all the connotative meaning and all the symbolic meaning and all these things. And so there still has to be a literal meaning that can be read from like a first glance. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it might just be like a line that stands out to you. And that's still like reading poetry and enjoying it. Anyways, okay.
Hey.
I said I wasn't going to do it.
I told you I love when English professor Beccah comes out. Well, guys, if you still hate poetry after this, we tried.
Yeah. At that point, it's between you and the poem gods. Because we did our best. I was fully enacting Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright. So if that didn't sell it for you, you're hopeless.
Go pick up Shel Silverstein.
Yeah. Just go back to
Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Oh, such good poems. Though.
So good.
Mr. Rogers had some real great poetry that still hits, to be honest.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, that is it for this episode of I Reckon I'll Read It. Thank you for listening and joining in on our bookish discussions.
If you enjoyed our podcast, please take a moment to rate and review us on whatever platform you're I want to do that again anyways, because I said, if you enjoyed our podcast, like that was like a caricature. That was not me. If you enjoyed our podcast, please take a moment to rate and review us on whichever platform you're using to listen. This will help us to grow and find more people to talk books with.
And connect with us on social media. You can find us at I Reckon I'll Read It on Instagram and Threads.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to be relevant. Anyways, we're going to cut and run. Join us next episode on I Reckon I'll Read It.
Bye.
If it gets scary, I'll just bump up the speed and just listen to it really, really fast. And
then
just
don't listen at night or when you're alone.
That was 4-point speed.
Oh, okay.